You are welcome to another beautiful edition of Sport Updates on AYOGEN TV. You're welcome back to Sport Updates for Thursday segments. We are also located at Kinjagola Junction. You can as well follow us on our Facebook, our Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram handle. Here with me in studio today is Murakinyo Ahmed. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's nice to have you back on board. It's been a while we have you on this segment.
Thank you very much.
Before we move to the communication of analyzing matches, let me just give you some brief update on sports for today's this segment. Tottenham star Hojbjerg wanted by Hood Boss Jose Mourinho at AS Roma. Pogba give young fan his shirt after game-changing performance against Brighton FC. Newcastle planning third raid of Brighton as the target academic chief Mullin. Conte reckons Tottenham's have only 1% short of finishing in top 4. Chelsea convinced they will have land Conde with 3 defenders to leave on a free. Tottenham have to sell Kane and must give Conte money to spend, says Gallas. Former Zimbabwe national Johan shot dead while working as a taxi driver. Ronaldo click at Man United, irritating teammates. Guardiola calls a Liverpool pain ass as Man City boss admits the title doubt. Manchester City demand Chilean side change badge due to similar branding. Newcastle have not received sponsorship fees from Sport Direct in 3 years. Man United icon Ferdinand reveals Everton pals are stunned by Van de Beek impact. Record of Van de Beek has moved to Everton during the transfer window. Shaw claims Manchester United can win Champions League, but known fans won't agree. Manchester United defender Luke Shaw says he believes his club will win the Champions League, but he wasn't sure that their fans will agree with them. Quite alright, these are things we'll be discussing with my analyst today. Arsenal set for US preseason tour as Kroenke aims to patch things up with financial loss. Manchester City team jet lands in Liverpool due to high winds of flights from Lisbon. It's quite from astonished performance from Manchester City after deceiving Sporting Lisbon by 5-0. Ronaldo has netted in 21 straight years with first keeper he scored past now 52. Cristiano Ronaldo has been performing exceptionally well ever since he joined Manchester United and has also been at the forefront, making everything to be superb for Manchester United ever since joining them from Juventus. Ragnick tells Willian his future is at Man United after Norwich loan transfer. Warnock reveals to back down in criticism for Chelsea star Cesar Azpilicueta. On some global press today, we still have some news headlines. Ava Elliott became Liverpool's youngest player to start in a Champions League match. Recall that Liverpool defeat their opponent by 2-0 yesterday in the ongoing UEFA Champions League. Newcastle lining up easy transfer swap and confident of landing the Palace star. Eze, who has always been one of the shining stars at Crystal Palace, is wanted by the Liverpool. Newcastle tipped to win Premier League before Man United due to financial power. We hope so. Well, it might actually be to the fact that Newcastle has been acquired a new status by getting new individuals to get as their head aside Manchester United, and we hope things turn around for Newcastle United. Inter boss Inzaghi overheard warning players about Elliott internal team talk. Courtois reveals secrets to Lionel Messi penalty after studying PSG star. These are things I will also be discussing with my analyst today. By Courtois saving Lionel Messi penalty. Well, it was not a new thing saving a star penalty, but it seemed like Courtois has actually taken his time to study Lionel Messi's penalty before Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain, which ended in 1-0 in favor of Paris Saint-Germain, courtesy of goal from Kylian Mbappe. Pochettino had to see doctors after PSG-wide celebration and Real Madrid win. We could see the way Mauricio Pochettino celebrates the win against Real Madrid And it was so interesting that even when he was at Spurs, I think he drew with Real Madrid with 1-1 then. And Pochettino has actually been performing exceptionally well when it comes to meeting Real Madrid. Firmino and Salah sealed Liverpool away win at Inter in the Champions League. That was yesterday night when they played against Inter. I think to our viewers at home, you could see the other time I was on a segment, Yoruba Sport, I said it will be a very interesting match, and you could see that it was at the dying minute that these two goals came from Firmino and Mohamed Salah. Sunderland fumes as Lewis De Fiore does not want controlling stake of the club. Juventus legend Marchisio's stunning wife Robert forced to edit steaming pictures. RS Salzburg won against Bayern Munich. Koeman scored leads to a salvage draw. It was also part of yesterday's night's match in the UEFA Champions League, and in which RS Salzburg actually played a wonderful football against the Bayern Munich, and you could see it ended in 1-1 draw, courtesy of Koeman a 9 minutes goal when the match is about to end. And we have some news on the Daily Globe too. Rangnick tells Willian his future at Man United at Norwich loan transfer. Arsenal has received most red cards in the Premier League since Arteta joined them. I think my second analysis on Arsenal fans, and I think we will dwell much on this issue that Arsenal has most red card ever since Mikel Arteta joined the club. Man City gets rocked immediately by storm. Due their struggles to land, I think we've actually come up with a news like that. Chelsea will not reward players with big bonus despite a €7 million windfall. On the Global Sky News today, we also have worst football club fans food review. How does your club grumble fears? Let's take a look at some of news on our African scene. We have a lot of news coming up from the Nigerian Professional Premier League, which we all know as NPFL. Like I said, that Mauricio Pochettino has faced Real Madrid 3 times in Champions League as a manager. I said it was 1-1 when he was in charge of Spurs. He also defeated them 3-1 in the first leg before they played a 1-1 draw. And on Tuesday night, it happens to be a 1-0 against Real Madrid. So Mauricio Pochettino is actually performing exceptionally well when it comes to meeting with Real Madrid. Okay, on some results from the yesterday night match, we have Liverpool beats Inter at San Siro by 2-0. RS Salzburg and Bayern Munich played a 1-1 draw. In Spanish La Liga, Levante defeats Atletico de Madrid by 1-0 at their Metropolitan Stadium. In Belgium Pro League, Genk defeats Mechelen by 4-1. And in England Championship, we had Peterborough played a goalless draw against Reading. In Greece Super League, we have Pentilokos played 1-0 against Limia. And to Nigerian Professional Premier League, Dakar FC versus Gombe United match actually postponed. Kwara United defeat Eyimba with 1-0. Niger Tornadoes defeat Shonsai Stars of Akure with 1-0. And MFM defeats Castina United by 1-0. Plateau United defeats my own darling football club, Shooting Star of Ibadan, by 3-1. It was a very interesting match that Aqua United has to go to Ramos Star Stadium and they defeat them by 1-0. An away team defeating an home team by 1-0. Wiki Tourists defeat Kano Pillars by 2-1. And in South Africa, we have Orlando Pirates played goalless draw against Golden Arrows. And in Egypt Premier League, we have Future played 2-0 against National Bank. And in Uganda Premier League, we have Toronto United played 1 against Avila United. And Ethiopia Premier League also, we have Ethiopian Bona played. Ethiopian Bona was defeated by 1-0 at his own turf by Abba Bachelin by 1-0. In Italian Serie B, we have Floresino played was defeated 2-1 by Como. And let me take this chance to bring in my analyst on board, Mr. John Joshua. It's all over to you, dear. Mr. Morakinyo Ahmed, I welcome you aboard once again. Let's quickly make it up to what happened. Let's start from the UEFA Champions League. A match was played between Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. and it was 1-0. Lionel Andres Messi actually lost a penalty in the build-up, and Thibaut Courtois had actually revealed that he actually studies a Lionel Messi penalty before coming on board. What do you see about Messi losing a penalty? And from the beginning to the end, we could observe that Real Madrid is not even playing a fantastic football this time around.
Thank you very much. Actually, no one expected that performance from Paris Saint-Germain, because if you look at their last couple of matches, both in the League and Coupe de France, in which Rennes knocked them out, they do perform hopefully, despite the fact of the calibers of player they have in the lives of Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, Messi, and lots more. About the PSG match versus Real Madrid, I think PSG really determined well that day. As you know, a lot of this has changed about the UEFA Champions League. There is no away goal rule as at now, henceforth. Nothing like you defeated 1-0 at your home, go away, defeated 1-2, and you will qualify to the next round. Not like that. So they dominated the game right from the beginning. Sincerely, since 2003, I have been watching football. I never experienced Real Madrid defending in such a way. They defended from
the beginning to the end.
And concerning the Messi penalty, I think if you can remember, Messi has played 4 penalties against Courtois, in which he scored 3. The one on Tuesday against Real Madrid was the 4th one. So I think maybe Courtois already study him very well. I think maybe it seems like that could happen in the game. You know, there's no way a team can dominate a match. It's either there will be a penalty or a free kick. So Courtois really worked hard on that and prepared well for the scenes like that. So, and he gets the position in which Messi do play penalty and he catch it. That's all.
Well, like you said, he gets the position where Messi plays penalty and he catch it. I think, what could you say that actually happens to the Real Madrid team that they are not playing like we know them for?
Presently, there is only 2 teams that can play the Paris Saint-Germain that can really perform a little bit, not even perform better. It is Manchester City and Bayern Munich, because they are form and the calibers of player they do get. Even Chelsea cannot. That's just it. PSG and Real Madrid are currently not on the same form, although they are both in form. But with the calibers of player, looking at the front line, the 3 front line of Paris Saint-Germain are all world-class players ever since they have been playing football. Constant, year by year, month by month, week by week. Looking at Kylian Mbappe, who got the World Cup at the age of 17 years and some days. Neymar Jr. with 536 appearances with around 550 goal contribution, both goals and assists. And Lionel Messi is even the origin of football. So there is no how Real Madrid can only try in playing with PSG, but they are not on the same level. That's just the fact. Even to the second leg also, they are still going to their best result against PSG is just draw. That's just it.
Okay, like I said earlier on, that Mauricio Pochettino has actually faced Real Madrid 3 times in the UEFA Champions League. Twice when he was the coach of Tottenham, and in the first leg they played 3-1, in which they defeated Real Madrid by 3-1. In the second leg they actually played a 1-1 draw, and on Tuesday night they played Real Madrid again, and it was 1-0. Do you think, should we say Mauricio Pochettino knows how to play Real Madrid much better than any other team when it comes to UEFA Champions League?
It is not that Pochettino knows how to play Real Madrid. It is just a case of coincidence. When he defeated Real Madrid 3-1...
No, 3-1 is not more a coincidence.
Yes.
I think it is 1-0. I can actually agree with you that it is coincidence.
When he defeated PSG and Real Madrid back then in 3-1, which Dele Alli and Kane scored back then, it was... They are highly informed then, and Real Madrid didn't even get themselves very well. If you can remember, Enes Obawade, which is one of the worst coach Barca got, defeated Real Madrid in their Clasico 9 times, defeated 7, and only draw 2. They never won a game against Barcelona during the 3-year spell of Enes Obawade.
but back then I can say their league form was reset. So it is just a matter of coincidence. That's just it.
Yeah, on Tuesday night also, our darling club from England, Manchester City, we've known them to always be performing exceptionally well. Even in the Premier League, they sit at the log of the table. And we could see what they did against Sporting Lisbon by beating them 5-0. We'll see this wonderful goal scored by Raheem Sterling, same with Bernardo Silva. Even at the end of the match, Bernardo Silva actually won the man of the match. So now, it has actually been something like this. Even in previous UEFA Champions League, you see Man City performing exceptionally well. But when it comes to quarterfinal, semi-final, they got defeated. Quite all right, the last UEFA Champions League, they make it up to the final where Chelsea defeat them. I think the previous one, they played at semi-final where Tottenham actually defeat them. So should we still call them a title contender, or when it comes to the verge of quarter, semi-final, they lost their focus of being in UEFA Champions League?
As far as Manchester City is concerned this season, I think their Champions League form has been very astonishing and absolutely different compared to the past. And the players are very, very hungry this time, and even the coach. I think in the beginning of this season, he said that he will be spending one more season after this season at Manchester City, then maybe he will look for an international duty job. So I think this is the last opportunity. This is becoming the last opportunity for him. And also the players understand that even once Guardiola left, they might not have the opportunity to get a better coach, a caliber of coach like that. So that's just, they are very, very desperate this time around, hungry for the tournament, and they can do anything. And as far as the form is concerned, I see Bayern Munich and PSG as the only obstacles who can stop Man City from getting this league. Not even Liverpool or Chelsea. That's just the facts.
Okay, like you said that it seemed that Pep Guardiola actually has declared that he's going to use a season with Manchester and Man City before he leaves the seat of power. But if peradventure is unable to lay his hand on the UEFA Champions League trophy, do you still see him still using that one season again?
Surely he will use. That's not a success. That doesn't determine a success. We have a caliber of coach who performed very, very well and never won the Champions League in the likes of probably Luis Van Gaal and a lot more. And also in player category, Messi and Ronaldo, can we just judge them that because they didn't win the FIFA World Cup, maybe Dembele is better than them or Mbappe is better than them? No. It is just that we can't be successful in every aspect of our life. That's just it. Everyone has his or her own ups and downs. So winning Champions League for Guardiola, or even not winning it, doesn't affect anything, any area in his success. It is glaring and known to everyone that he is fantastic and one of the best managers as far as football is concerned, if not the best manager.
Okay, you said something earlier on that I want us to dwell much on it, that it is only PSG and Bayern Munich that can absolutely stop Manchester United. What of Ajax? Because if you see a team who have actually scored a lot of goals in this present UEFA Champions League, we have Man City, who actually happens to score 22 goals. Same with Bayern Munich, 22 goals, and Ajax, 20 goals. And compared to what Bayern Munich played yesterday night, even it was a 1-1 draw at the verge of the 90 minutes when Coman actually scored. Don't you think Ajax is also one of the title contenders when it comes to UEFA Champions League?
Although Ajax is in a very good form, but as far as UEFA Champions League is concerned, I'm not ruling them out, but they just have a thin chance of winning the competition when meeting the likes of PSG, Bayern Munich, Manchester City. Surely, the three teams mentioned earlier will score you. That's just it. You will surely concede against them. And this Ajax of a team, they are not good in defending. They don't defend. It's not a matter of they are not good in defending. They don't defend, and they might find it difficult to score more goals against the likes of PSG, Bayern Munich, and Man City if they play an all-attack style of football. So they may score one and concede more than one, which is very easy for you to get knocked out of the Champions League, because once you concede more in Champions League, automatically you are out. In the sense whereby you score 2 goals and you conceded 4 goals. So You are on your way.
You know, well, it is very interesting that since the beginning of this month, let me say Mauricio Pochettino, Ragnick has always been on the forefront of newspaper headlines. And now, Harry Kane is open to reuniting with Mauricio Pochettino in report that the PSG manager could target him if he become Manchester United boss. Now, Mauricio Pochettino is about to leave at PSG with all what we had, because even the owner of PSG has actually told him that if you guys win Parc de France or Ligue 1 for us with the likes of player we have at hand, it doesn't amount to any success. It is the Champions League that is their focus. And with what is actually happening in the camp of PSG, it is obvious that Mauricio Pochettino will leave. Do you see Harry Kane joining Mauricio Pochettino at Manchester United?
It is surely obvious that Mauricio Pochettino will leave at the end of the season. I think the PSG sports director, Leonardo, has even informed him last 2 weeks that at the end of the season he should find another club. Yes, Harry Kane can join Manchester United, because I do notice something about English players when in form. They don't want to leave home. That's just it. Looking at, firstly, Harry Maguire, Ben Chilwell, and even Ryan Stanley. Bayern Munich bid a lot of salary, double of what Man City afford to give him back then. But he chooses Man City ahead of Bayern Munich. Same thing applicable to Jack Grealish. Even when Real Madrid was unable to sign Kylian Mbappe at the end of last season, they was also targeting Jack Grealish by then, even affording around £390,000 per week. And Manchester City is giving him $320,000, and he chooses Manchester City. So I see Harry Kane going to Manchester United if Mauricio Pochettino join, than going to other team outside the league.
Outside the Premier League. Okay, quite interesting. Cristiano Ronaldo, as we all know, has actually been one shouldering the responsibility of Manchester United. And Ralf Rangnick have always come in the criticism that Ralf Rangnick should leave the dugout of Manchester United. We could see what happened against Brighton, where they played 2-0. We see the spectacular goals that this man actually scored. And now Ronaldo is saying emphatically that if the performance of Manchester United did not improve, definitely he will leave the club. And we have three individuals probably eyeing that they will have Cristiano Ronaldo in their club. We have the Paris Saint-Germain himself. And I think it will be a very good, interesting seeing Cristiano Ronaldo playing against Lionel Messi. We have Bayern Munich also showing interest in these players. And likewise, there is a possible reunion with his former boss, which is Jose Mourinho. Do you see Cristiano Ronaldo quitting Manchester United for another club? Or probably, let me say, do you hope Ronaldo and Messi will play together on the same turf?
It will be a very beautiful moment in football, in which all football fans can...
As actually, we are eager to see them playing together.
I myself is I'm interested in seeing Ronaldo playing a match, Ronaldo and Messi playing a match together, even if it is just two matches. Like, I will be very happy as a football fan, despite the fact that I'm a fan of Messi. You see, at the age of Ronaldo and Messi, they didn't have to struggle for more things now, except trophy. That's why I would just like the decision of Messi going to PSG. At least, even though if he got one goal, one assist at the end of the season, it is quite obvious that he will be one of the players that won the French Ligue 1 for PSG, even if not the Coupe de France or UEFA Champions League. At least that we add to his trophy cabinet. Scoring goal, providing assist without winning any trophy at 37 is just something that is not well okay. But with this current Manchester United, I see them going trophyless this season. Not that I'm not their fans, but that's just the truth of the matter.
Okay, there is another news flying up the air that the former manager that was actually relieved from office, which is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is actually eyeing a return back to Manchester United. Just a short word, because we actually go on break and bring in our second analyst. Do you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming back as the Manchester United manager?
Manchester United would rather go for Mauricio Pochettino or Eric Ten Hag of Ajax. They can employ Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back
into the team again. Yesterday, Bayern Munich, which we've all been thinking they are one of the title contenders in UEFA Champions League, they play out a 1-1 draw against Salzburg. And there is these two individuals who actually brings to my notice on the field of play, which is Karim Adeyemi, and what's this man called? Chukwuegbere Adamu,
Yes,
a guide, and
yes.
one Okafor. We have two Nigerians playing in
Okafor,
that
yes.
team.
That's
Even
it.
Karim Adeyemi is also a Nigerian, but he actually played
Germany.
his allegiance for Germany. Now, do we still see Bayern Munich as a title contender with what actually happens to them against Salzburg?
I watched the match yesterday. Although they are playing from away, but the Salzburg team are just an advanced West Ham United of England. They play a very beautiful football, attacking minded and very careful in defending, and they didn't fear any caliber of player, both Lewandowski, Muller or anybody. So the second leg, I don't rule Salzburg out as at now. They may shock the world and shock Bayern Munich as well.
Bayern Munich as well, if Kelly is not taking on. And on a final note before we leave, Liverpool against Inter Milan yesterday at San Siro, they actually played a 2-0 where Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino scored. And it was a very interesting game yesterday, seeing the two sides. It was an old driver, it was an old driver and a joy for Liverpool to go back to San Siro, where it's a lot of things that happens to them in San Siro. Likewise, a lot of things that happens to Inter and AC Milan at Anfield. Do you see Liverpool still going beyond this stage because of the way they are playing presently with their upfront player, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino?
Inter Milan, they are not that good defensively. But Liverpool will surely net and score even more than one goal at the second leg at Anfield. As you can see, in the last 14 games of Liverpool in all competition, they have scored in every match. Yes, they have scored in every match in all competition. So, and the Champions League and League form of Inter Milan, most of the Champions League of Inter Milan is not that good. They struggle to qualify at the good stage then.
Okay, if you are just joining us, this is Sport Updates on AYOGEN TV, and here in studio with me is Morakiyo Ahmed, also known as Ahmedino. He's a sport analyst, he's also a player, and he's also a coach. And I'm glad to have him on board today. I would like to take a zip and bring in our second analyst. Stay tuned and keep watching AYOGEN TV.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Sport Updates on AYOGEN TV. I'm still your humble host on this segment, Adeusi Oladeji Habib. My second analyst is here, and it's a familiar face we've all been familiar with, which is Tolulope Limane. Tolulope Limane, it's nice to have you back on this program.
Good evening, HV. It's good to be here again, once again.
Okay, let me start from some news, a news concerning your team. That ever since Mikel Arteta has been in charge of Arsenal, you guys have actually now enough red card to your coffin, more to your cabinet, more than trophy in his own present dispensation.
Actually, considering red card and fouls like that, it's not really good, and sometimes it do cost the team. You can see that against Manchester City. I think the first game of the year that was played at Emirates, at some point Arsenal was playing them and possessed them up until when Gabriel received that red card.
The red card.
And the victim of most of this card has always been Granit Xhaka. It's not that this guy.
Of recent, I think Martinelli also has a red card to
I
his
think the
name.
the last game against Wolves. So I can't say these guys are playing under pressure because they want to deliver and give you the result. You know, the kind of manager you are playing under, that's Mikel Arteta. Once you are not in your good form, probably you might lose your starting. Don't forget this guy is currently having issues with Mikel Arteta. That's Emily Smith-Rowe. And so probably this guy might have been playing under pressure, and that's why you see them conceding red card over and over. But it won't be a good thing. The same thing against Liverpool at the Carabao Cup. So I see it as over the time or in the next few matches or couple of matches to come, these guys will be able to get over
something actually came to my notice just now. A former football star, James Carragher, said he sees Arsenal having the chance of winning UEFA Champions League ahead of Manchester United. I hope he's not taking a jab on your team.
Well, I think there have been a lot of tips and commendation on the Arsenal side. And don't forget, even yourself, you adjudge the team has been improved under Mikel Arteta.
Exactly.
At some point,
there was an improvement in the team.
To give this guy a chance, but obviously, if at all we've not given him the credit in the last few seasons, but this season so far, this guy has been brilliant enough to manage the team despite playing young talent and prolific young guys, and they've been delivering for this guy. So I see nothing bad if Arsenal is being tipped for the UEFA Champions, though it doesn't come that easy. Notwithstanding, there's still a way for them if really they know what they are doing.
Paris Saint-Germain have offered Kylian Mbappe a contract that could make him the highest paid footballers
in the world
on the planet in a bid to keep him at Parc de France. They have Lionel Messi, they have Neymar Jr., they have Di Maria, they have Marquinhos, they have Verratti, they have Donnarumma, Kempepe, a lot of players who have finest players. Now, Kylian Mbappe is about to meet the highest paid footballers in the world. Firstly, let me ask, do you think this guy actually deserves to be the highest paid players when Lionel Messi is still in the team? Secondly, do you think Paris Saint-Germain need this, or what is the motive of making him one of the biggest paid players in the world?
Well, to me, I must say, Kylian Mbappe is only playing a mind game presently at Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Obviously, he has, in his content, as you know, this guy, his mind is off that team already.
It's off Parc de France.
So yesterday, he was making a comment that despite the fact that there's been rumor that he wanted to leave the team and the likes, yet that presently he's still playing for them. Definitely he must still deliver for them. But notwithstanding, I still see Kylian Mbappe really deserves being. Don't forget, at a younger age, this guy was able to feature in the Champions League. Again, even in the World Cup, he was part of the team that won the World Cup then. I think at age 19, 18 or 19 or thereabouts.
Exactly.
So he really deserves, and don't forget, at most times, this guy has been giving them the results. He has delivered them on so many occasions that you can't mention enough. But if really they want this guy
to stay,
it's good, but I hope it will not haunt them later on in the season, because we've seen a caliber of players like that when they are being tipped down just because of money issues.
We'll see what happened to Harry Kane in the beginning of the season at the Tottenham, because he was actually like he wanted to leave for Manchester City. But the body language was actually speaking well that this guy is no more at Tottenham. Not until they bring in Antonio Conte into the team, and we could. Presently, he's not even up to the. He's not up to the task, because the Kane we all knows by now he should have at least 13 or 14 goals, Mo Salah and the likes. But quite is not the same. And let's quickly discuss about the UEFA Champions League played so far. Real Madrid played against Paris Saint-Germain, and throughout the 90 minutes, they didn't register a single shot on target. What do you think is happening to Real Madrid presently? Do you still see them as the Real Madrid we know who won La Decima of UEFA Champions League, or presently now the Real Madrid is actually the club is dying? There is no we can't even enjoy it what we used to enjoy when Real Madrid is playing. They played a fantastic football, entertainment football, but now it is quite saddening to see them playing in this kind of an era where they still have Karim Benzema in their team. They have Luka Vazquez, Eden Hazard, Modric, and the like. But it was so sad that for a whole 90 minutes they were unable to register a single shot on target.
Well, it's bound to happen, and I don't see any problem or issue with Real Madrid. It does happen like that in the game of soccer. Probably, don't forget the weekend. I mean the weekend. They also lost. They drew their match, which it's not over going well. I could see that as a result of the international break. You know, these guys were just coming back from break, some of them, and they still find it difficult to acclimatize themselves with every other team member of it. So they are just coming up, and I can tell you that at their next fixture against Paris Saint-Germain will pay for what they did at Parc de France.
At Santiago Bernabeu. Well, Tolulope Emmanuel says Paris Saint-Germain will definitely pay for what happens at Parc de France when the means at Santiago Bernabeu. Manchester City has actually been doing exceptionally well when it comes to UEFA Champions League. They've had 200 goals so far in this UEFA Champions League, and presently they had 22 goals to their name. And we see them as one of the title contenders ever since Pep Guardiola have joined the team. You could see last season they end up as a runner-up. A season before then they end up at the semi-final. A season before then I think it was quarter-final. Do you still see Manchester City as one of the title contenders? And don't forget Pep Guardiola, after this season, he only has a season left to his name at Manchester City. And you could see Guardiola have every other trophy in his cabinet: the Premier League, the Carling, the FA Cup, even the Community Shield. But the only trophy that is presently yet to be won for Manchester City is the UEFA Champions League.
I think it would be my delight if Pep Guardiola eventually win that into the Etihad cabinet. Of course, this guy had spent a lot, and these Arabic guys, they've really invested much into the team. So it's really pained me when they lost against Chelsea last season, owing to the fact that this guy.
I'm sure if David is here today, he won't agree with you.
Of course, I know that. Though the best side won the game last season.
Exactly.
Sure. The best side won. But for a manager like Pep Guardiola, he knows how to dictate the game for you. If he give you the pace in which you play and you fall into that, definitely you are at your own. You are doing yourself. So he knows how to win this game and he knows how to lose this game. Let me put it that way. So for Manchester City to win this trophy, they can win it for themselves. And if they will have to lose, it's even their handwork.
Okay, now let's discuss about match played yesterday night. Liverpool against Inter Milan at San Siro. And it was 2-0 to the name of Liverpool, one-time champion of that UEFA Champions League. And do you see Liverpool as one of the title contenders? And do you see Inter Milan coming back in the second leg? Don't forget, we don't have the away goals presently now in this stage. But do we still see Liverpool as one of the title contenders?
Of course, we can still tag them as well, still being one of the contenders, because they've upped their game in recent weeks. They've been behind Manchester City, putting pressure on Pep Guardiola.
Even at English Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. So, and they've not done badly when it comes to the UEFA Champions League this season. So I still see them as a contender. And for them to go all the way to Italy to defeat Inter Milan at San Siro, there have been records of having that edge whenever they play at San Siro. Don't forget, there was this season they played 3-3 draw against AC Milan, and they were able to defeat them on penalty shootout. So it's always been easier whenever they are playing either of the Milan sides, and especially when they are playing or at San Siro.
San Siro.
It's kind of it's a comfort zone for them, and even generally when they are playing against Italian side, it's very easier for them to get the rhythm of the match, and before you know it, don't forget, up until 71st minute, they had no shot on targets.
Exactly.
But as brilliant as Jurgen Klopp is, he was able to manage that team, and before you know it, 2 goals were conceded by this Italian
What
side.
actually I was thinking, maybe it was due to the fact that Inter has switched to the 3-5-2 formation since 2019-2020 sections, that they have been unable to have this string of champion in them again. And with this, they've used 12 different, wing backs. Don't you think their coach needs to upgrade their style of play?
Don't forget, they also use this formation to win the league. I think that was last season or thereabouts with Antonio Conte.
Yes.
I think it has worked for them at some point, but not all formations work against every other managers. You can propose and project your formations, then another manager will tell you this is wrong for you to use this against me. So that's why I say it all depends on whoever is using the formation. It's never a problem, but that, and we have analysts in that team. Probably at some point in the game, you should have read the rhythm of the game, and you discover this thing is not working for us. Probably you should have. It's very possible for you to change your formation right on the pitch. It has happened before, whereby a manager had to use 3-4 formations in a game, and they still get the deserved result. So I see Inter Milan, their manager, to up the game and give the best.
Okay, before we leave on the Liverpool Inter Milan issues, Liverpool have actually offered James Milner a 1-year contract. Don't you think it is high time Liverpool started making use of young players into their team? Because presently they have a lot of old
stars and
star
old
players
legs
in their team. Even Van Dijk, Ederson, the likes, they are kind of players who is out of age. And if you look at the present handling of English Premier League and Champions League so far, you need young talent. Do you think James Milner merits to be given a 1-year, or probably they should allow him to leave the Anfield Stadium?
If there's no bid coming for this guy, I think he can still stick with the Anfield side. James Milner has been at Anfield for quite some years now, and he has really been brilliant. And I think they still need the service of this guy in terms of experience.
Exactly. We still need it. When it comes to some leagues like Champions League,
of course,
we still need experienced players in the
these
team.
guys they've played far and wide, and they know how to manage balls. This guy has been prolific and he has been outstanding for Liverpool over the years. So giving me a 1-year contract and don't.
It's not too bad for a player like him. Okay, yesterday Bayern Munich played against Salzburg, and it was 1-0. But 2-3 players actually catch my eyes, which is Karim Adeyemi, Chuba Ikeze Adamu, and Okafor. Don't forget that Karim Adeyemi has always been in the front line, that Dortmund want to sign this guy, but he's yet to leave the club. Do you see Karim Adeyemi as one of the superstars in football?
I wish this guy can continue in the best of his form. The moment he didn't lose form, and he probably eventually leave this side and join another side, I hope he'll be able to blend with the new side and continue to deliver as we've known him for. So Okafor, I think he's a Swiss. He has pledged his allegiance for the Swiss side. Then Shubuke for the Austrian, and This Nigeria has talent. And
What can you say is the problem of Nigeria? And if these young people are actually pledging their allegiance for some
another
European team, when our darling Super Eagles actually named them, we need the likes of Karim Adeyemi in our team. And you could see it takes a long time before Lookman
Can
actually
finally decide
to play for the Super Eagles. What is the problem? Is the is the NFF the major problem, or the player doesn't actually want to play for Nigeria?
I think both the national NFF and the Nigerian government are not doing very well
When it comes to player
welfareism. So,
welfareism.
and this is one of the things that scare these guys away. And whenever you are playing for a European side will always be European side. And when it comes to soccer, they are dominant at the moment. So for you to represent a European side, I think it's of more weight and of more value and how do I put it now? It's of more worth than playing for the Nigerian side. I give kudos to some of these guys that have actually
played for the Super Eagles.
I still give them kudos, but for these guys, it's not okay. Another thing is we can't have every of these guys
playing for the Super Eagles. Exactly. Definitely. Cristiano Ronaldo, ever since he joined Manchester United from Juventus, he has been astonishing in his performance so far. And it was quite alarming that he said he's leaving Manchester United because of their present form. And if Kelly is not taking the likes of Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, even there is a news flying around the year that there is a probability to join up with his former manager, which is Jose Mourinho. Toluema, do you see Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Manchester United? And if peradventure he leave this club, which club is he likely to play for? Because even I personally, and what Ahmed said before he leave the stage was that he's eager to see Ronaldo and Messi playing together in the same turf.
Well, there is no player that cannot leave a team.
That's the number one thing.
The current one was Lionel Messi. Nobody saw it that
coming that he will leave Barcelona
eventually
for PSG.
Leave Nou Camp. So Cristiano Ronaldo, and I don't see him going back to Italy. I think if he must leave Old Trafford, the best side he can join now is either to play at MLS, that's in United States, or probably go back to his Boyd club, that's Sporting CP. So Cristiano Ronaldo, as over the years, we've known him to be the best player and greatest of all time. And in the build-up to the last game they played against Brighton before he scored an astonishing goal, a day to that match, during their training session, he spent 5 hours at their training ground. He was the first player to arrive at turf, and he was the last player that left the pitch. That's for 5 hours. So you need to see, that's how hardworking this guy really is, and he's very determined that he wants the result. So he has proven it over and over that, yes, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo and I want the best for my side. So I don't see Cristiano Ronaldo not joining Jose Mourinho, like you said. But if eventually he joins Bayern Munich side, it's a good one. And if eventually he joins Lionel Messi at Paris Saint-Germain, fine. But the best side I see this guy joining is either playing at MLS, United States, or Sporting CP.
Okay, let's quickly discuss about these two news updates before we leave on this segment for today. Atletico Madrid are talking of a possible replacement for Diego Simeone, some other coaches to replace him. And this is the first time in more than a decade that this is happening to Atletico Madrid. Do you think, like an English proverb says that when the ovation is loud, you leave the stage? Do you think it is high time Diego Simeone leave Atletico Madrid?
I think
before they show him an exit door.
Exit forcefully. If Diego Simeone can still win the interest of fans, fans mostly dictate how the longevity of a manager in a side. If he can still win their interest and show them that, yes, I can still deliver. Thank God he has proven it over the years, and he has proven it, I think, last season. That's when they were able to reduce the dominance of Real Madrid at the league. They were able to win that league with the likes of Luis Suarez, João Felix, and the like. So I still see him staying at Atletico Madrid and still prove a point that yes, he's still one of the best managers so far.
Okay, Manchester United are already planning to recruit a midfielder this summer as they look to replace Paul Pogba, who is expected to leave the club. Do you think Manchester United needs to recruit a new midfielders because they still have a lot of players on bench? We still have Bruno Fernandes, Juan Mata, and presently I think Van de Beek are actually joining Everton.
Juan Mata is not part of that team
anymore.
Of course.
So Manchester United needs
already,
to get,
so they need someone to just as backup, yes.
Okay. And on the final note, before we leave on this segment, there is a little crisis which actually happened in Chelsea. And a lot of stars have actually been praising manager Thomas Tuchel for his handling of the situation between Lukaku and Thomas Tuchel. What can you say about the coach relationship with his players so far so good?
Honestly, I love this guy, Thomas Tuchel, and it's really a blessing for Chelsea to have signed this guy when he eventually came to Chelsea. But being able to manage Romelu Lukaku during that crisis, it's really brilliant of him. Don't forget, there are managers you can't try that with. You can't try that with a certain Jose Philippe Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and even this Mikel Arteta. You can't try that and go scot-free. Is that you have been benched for the rest of your contract or you have been sold out immediately. But thank God for his brilliance. He knows the worth of this guy. That yes, I know why I bidded for him, and I know what he can be able to do for the side. So it's really a good thing that he was able to manage it.
It's a very interesting evening on AYOGEN TV, on Sport Update on AYOGEN TV today. To have to look well, Emmanuel. Before we leave, let me quickly give you some matches to be played tonight in the Europa League and knockout stage. Barcelona will be hosting Napoli at the Nou Camp tonight, where Dortmund will also host Rangers. Sherry will host Bragas. Betis will travel to Zenit to play in this knockout stage. Atlanta will sit at home to host Olympiacos, where RS Leipzig will be watching Real Sociedad when they come to RS Leipzig Stadium. And Porto will be welcoming Lazio into their stadium tonight, and Sevilla also will be welcoming Dynamo Zagreb. To look well, man, the world to our esteemed viewers at home before we leave for today.
It pays to be a fan and not a fanatics.
That's just a short words from Tolulo Pelimane. Like I used to say, I keep watching AYOGEN TV. We have a lot of entertainment segments and always our news. Our breakfast news always coming up every day. You can actually watch us on our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Instagram, and follow us on our Twitter. Just click that short button on YouTube to get notified on every of our program. Until next week, that I will still come your way on segments, Sport Update for Thursday segment. Before then, let me quickly appreciate all my esteemed crew at home. John Joshua has actually been the editorial board. I will have actually make it successful for our viewers at home to see us. Likewise, my director for today's segment, Harmony, a wonderful well done to you. CK, Bleeding Pen, our dear secretary, Tosin, and every other crew members. We really appreciate you. And to our managing director, that dear Bean, we appreciate you. And our able director, Mr. Falegam, may you never walk alone, sir. Until Saturday that I will still come your way on Sport Extra, Adeusola Dejabi. Keep doing sports always.